Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live this morning. Hope you're having a great start to your day. And we certainly are. And I hope you had your coffee, your vitamin C, as you get your notifications. Brahim, my friend, Mike from Norland. And let me see who's in that trinity, Andrea. I should have known. Niagara Falls, John, right at the top. How are you guys? And nice to have you on. Hi, Sylvia. Elena, how are you? Anne, Moncton, New Brunswick, how are you? And Eric, salut, mon chum. And I am going to say that was Rosalinda, Frida, and Bonnie, Manitoulin Island, Carol from West Virginia, Marlene, how are you, Newfoundland, Fran from Orangeville, good morning. Hi, Sandy from Fergus Falls, Minnesota, Grace, Newfoundland, Madeleine, Kippawa, Quebec, Dave, Muskoka. Did you guys ever get the snow? Now we're getting it. Norma, Texas. Judy, New Brunswick. Donna from Bell Valley. Gary, Mexico. Hola. Maria, Ottawa. And, Halifax. Was that Georgie? Donna. And Cecilia. Shedjak, Nouveau Brunswick. Karen, how are you? Marilyn, Edmonton, Alberta. Rose, Lighthouse Cove. Rain Cloud, how are you from Michigan? Yes, Rosalinda. See, I just guessed. I didn't see it. Lisa Marie, how are you? Diane Thunder Bay, good morning. Kevin, there you are from Oshawa. Rita. Rebecca, saying it's snowing in Calendar. Nicole from our staff. Sherry, I want to sing, Sherry. Lori, how are you? And who's that? Is that Milika from Stouffville? And is that Diane from Thunder Bay? See, I missed that first name, but I'm just guessing. Francis, Carol, Moncton, was that Moncton, New Brunswick? Sharon, how are you? I missed Richmond Hill. Who is it? I can't see. It's going into my cloud right away. Gloria, how are you? Bruno, North Bay. Let's say hello to a few more and we'll get going. Patricia, good morning. Donna, another Donna's. We love those Donnas. And who's that from Sudbury, I think? Dale, wait a minute. Who is Cheryl in the clouds? And Lori from Niagara Falls. I think that was Andre from Sudbury. Marius, Patricia. Okay, let's get going, guys, because I'm missing so many. Denise, how are you? And Bowmanville, who is it? Like I said, I can't. Rolly, England. Linda, St. Jude, Quebec. And Snowy London, who is that? Milika from Stouffville. I was right, wasn't I? And Vancouver, Washington, who is it? All of them. Guys, you see, I'm sorry, it's this my screen. And I miss it. Okay, now, I want to talk about some articles that, these are not research as much as articles that I sort of flagged to talk about. And I've got 1, 2, let me see, 3, and I think I talked about you can't out-exercise a bad diet, right? Yeah, okay. And what sabotages your diet? So I've got at least 3 studies I want to talk about. Okay, so this was a good article that I flagged on what cardiologists guard the most? Now, I have done, and you've probably seen, if you followed me for any length of time, we write emails too. Now, if you're not getting our emails, you need to get them, okay? So go to martinclinic.com, and sign up for the emails, okay? Because we send out a lot of information on emails that sometimes I just don't cover here on, and a lot of people like the emails because they keep them. There's a lot of information on there, okay? So, but I talked about many a time what cardiologists get wrong. What do they get wrong? Well, usually when they make a blanket statement about something, they're always wrong. Now, I'm not telling you to avoid cardiologists. Well, do as much as you can to avoid them. But I'm not saying that cardiologists, when you are sick and you're having a heart attack or you've had a heart attack, okay, I get it. Okay, but when it comes to them making statements, I can't think of one time that they've been right. When they make a blanket statement about something, okay? And they always get it wrong, okay? And this article talked about that. It says, what cardiologists guard the most, meaning that they don't want to discount these, they don't want to dismiss things that they should dismiss, okay? And let me go over them, and then I'll bring you another article which will touch on this, okay? Now what cardiologists guard the most? Statin drugs. Statin drug. They guard it with their lives. In my opinion, statin drugs should have been put in the waste paper basket a long time ago. That's my opinion. They haven't even made a dent in heart disease. Not even close. And studies have been done. They've been around a long time. So you got a long-term studies shows that in terms of increasing your lifespan, it ain't worth it. The number one selling medication of all time have been statin drugs. Imagine that. And today, 2024, almost 2025, and we guard them, they guard them with their lives. I'll tell you, if you, well, listen, it's the number one selling drug of all time. So it's not just cardiologists. And guys, this is repetition for most of you, you know it. Am I interested in cholesterol? Yes. Don't say I'm not interested in it. I want to see your cholesterol number. I want to see your lipids. So when you get a lipid profile done, when you get a CBC done, a blood test done, and they do your lipids, I'm interested. They're significant. But what are they looking at? Doctors are trained. Total cholesterol, and especially LDL. Looking for love in all the wrong places. Because what they ought to be looking at is your triglycerides and your HDL. Those are the most significant. And I've said to you this many a time. And now they've come up with new ways of looking at LDL, APO or APO or whatever, lipoproteins, LDL, A or B, or to me, It's all a smokescreen. Because cardiologists, the specialists in heart disease, are hooked on statin drugs. They're hooked on them. It's part of their protocol. And there's very few people that ever escape a visit to a cardiologist and that won't come out with a prescription for statin drugs. My opinion, what a colossal failure they have been. And I'll come back to that in a minute after I go through the list of what this article said, that cardiologists guard with their lives. Okay? The second one, seed oils. They still have the idea, because this comes from cholesterol too. If you go into your grocery store and you look at the hateful eight, that's what I call them, those oils that are in the middle aisles of your grocery store, okay? Canada's gift to the world, canola oil, okay, which is a seed oil. And it's a cottonseed oil. And it sounds good. Cottonseed oil, okay? Canola oil, sounds good. And the reason cardiologists guard this and love this is because there's no cholesterol in it. There's no cholesterol in that oil. Cholesterol, bad. Therefore, seed oils, good. Safflower, sunflower, grapeseed, soy oil, okay? Cottonseed oil, which is canola, the big cotton, the canola oil. You know what Canada does? We export that oil. We make so much of it. We're making the world sick with this seed oil that is meant for your car. But cardiologists guard it. They guard it. They, listen, where do you think, guys, where do you think margarine came from? Margarine. Where did that come from? Hydrogenated oil. Why? Who invented that? Well, the food companies did, right? It looks like butter, right? Even today, people still use margarine. Well, it's cheaper than butter. Do you know that your body doesn't know what margarine is? It doesn't know what it is. What is that? When it gets into your gut, your body goes, what is that stuff? What did you put that in this body? It's not food. Oh yeah, but cardiologists will tell us there's no cholesterol in margarine. There's cholesterol in butter. Butter bad, margarine good. Since the 1970s, I've been screaming, John the Baptist in the wilderness, about the stupidity of margarine. Butter is a perfect food. Perfect protein, lots of fat, and especially lots of vitamins, including vitamin K2. Vitamin K2 helps you not to have a heart attack. What? Yeah, because it gets rid of calcium in your blood. Calcium don't belong in your blood vessels. No. Calcium belongs in your bones. And vitamin K2, every time you have butter, think about that. Don't ever, ever, ever use margarine or even those plant oils that pretend they're butter. Stay away from that 100 miles away. Don't touch it. Your body doesn't know what it is. It ain't good for you. But it's tightly guarded. Okay? Now, again, I'll go to my parents' generation. Man, they bought that hook, line, and sinker. Okay? Not my dad, but my parents' generation. And our generation too. We bought the cholesterol stuff. Now, will the younger generation get duped? I think so. And the reason I say that is there's so much money involved. If you have the number one selling medication of all time, do you think you want to lose that? And then they're in cahoots with the food industry that want to sell you that oil in all their foods in the middle aisles of the grocery store. That oil never gets bad. It lasts forever. Like I said, it belongs in your car. I think I brought you an article one time way back that they used a canola oil or whatever to actually run a flight on a 747. They used it as fuel. Like, you know, they did. True story. Okay? They guard it. They guard it. Now, they guard sugar. Cardiologists guard sugar. They guard it over salt. You see, salt has become a bad guy. Again, think of my parents' generation. You got high blood pressure, you better lower your salt. You got heart disease, cut out your salt. Eat foods with no salt. And you see that salt shaker there? Throw it out. It's giving you heart disease. No, it's not. Sugar is. Sugar will affect your kidneys. Sugar will make your body hold on to salt, creating edema. The culprit is sugar. But the food industry, you think they want that? You think they want that? No. So cardiologists guard that lie. They guard it. You can, sugar in moderation never hurt you. But they don't, they scream about salt. And you're very salty, by the way, or at least you should be. Salt is on your side, guys. Your tears are made up of salt. Your saliva is made up of salt. There's a lot of salt in your blood. You need salt. Their cardiologists guard. I'm just reading the article and I'm giving you the bullets. Okay? Because the fourth one, cardiologists guard the plant-based diet. In their mind, okay? Now remember something, okay? I think it's important. In medical school, they don't know anything about, they don't learn much about nutrition. Okay? Except that steak is bad and broccoli is good. Okay? Steak is bad, eggs are bad, butter is bad, but broccoli is good. Okay? Now, I like broccoli. Okay? I have a grandson named Brock, and I call him broccoli. Okay? Now, I actually like broccoli. Okay? But I never compare it. Well, I shouldn't say never. I have compared it. Give me the vegetable that people think is the number one vegetable in the world. A lot of people pick broccoli. I mean, I remember I did this on my radio show 20 something years ago. And we had a survey. Give me the number one nutrient dense vegetable. And broccoli was number one. Okay, so I'm only telling you what people chose. And then put it up against a steak. Put it up against eggs. Put it up against dairy, like cheese, butter, cream. Guys, hello out there. It's not even close. The nutritional profile, the bioavailability of the vitamins, of the protein, of the amino acids. It's not even close, guys. Yet, cardiologists guard the plant kingdom. And that's why you'll see on Netflix, you'll see it on other venues, the vegetarian or vegan diets. And I'll tell you, it came in big time in the 80s and early 90s. Big time. And people bought it. Getting away from the animal kingdom, because cardiologists see the animal kingdom, well, that's where cholesterol is. True. They're right about that. And if you don't think you need cholesterol, I don't know what to tell you. And, you know, they guard the plant-based diet. They guard it. Cut back on... I had a discussion with a physician recently. And I was listening to her give advice to someone. And she said, I hate to tell you this. Okay? She said, I'm quoting, I hate to tell you this. You're anemic. Okay. You better eat some more red meat. She said, I hate to tell you that. Because she was taught that red meat is bad. But she agreed that that's where you get your heme iron. She didn't know it was heme iron. She just said, yeah, there's more iron in red meat. You better eat some more of it, but I hate to tell you that. I got an instant migraine. My head was exploding. And then I remember they don't take nutrition in medical school. And if they did, even if they did, every guru, just about, that I know, who have the same credentials as me, still teach that the plant kingdom is better than the animal kingdom. You know what? I told you yesterday what Mark Twain once said. The best education is the one where you undo your education. Look, I got trained and taught by traditional, you know, they were smart guys, PhDs in nutrition. And because of the cholesterol scare in the 60s and 70s, and Dr. Ansel Keys and guys like that who became famous because of their war on cholesterol, I mean, that's been going on for a long time, guys, since the 1950s, when I was a little boy. And when I went to school in my education, I'm telling you, they were starting to tell you that plants were better than the animal kingdom. And I questioned that right out of the gate. I said, well, your body's made up of cholesterol. Your brain's made up of cholesterol. Your eyeballs are made up of cholesterol. Every organ in your body needs cholesterol. Cholesterol ain't a bad guy. Where are you getting that? But today, 50 years later, and they're still teaching people cholesterol's the bad guy. You need the plant kingdom because the plant kingdom doesn't have any cholesterol. Go to the North Pole, okay? I'm looking out my window right now. I think I'm living very close to the North Pole. We got a foot of snow here, okay? And it ain't stopped yet, okay? We didn't get the memo here in Northern Ontario about climate change, okay? We got a snowstorm, okay? But go to the North Pole and live with the Inuit. We used to call them Eskimos. And start teaching them how bad cholesterol is for you. And they'll think you're a nutcase. What? We live on cholesterol. We live on fat. We eat blubber all day long. And we eat every organ that a seal owns. And we drink the oil. Yeah. And if you don't introduce, if you don't introduce McDonald's to them, fast foods, they're the healthiest population, guys, they're the healthiest population around. Okay? Seriously. It's only when they start eating white man's food that they get sick. What cardiologists guard the most? Yeah. Statins, we'll talk about that tomorrow because there's another article. Seed oils, toxic sludge. That's what it is. If you saw the way they have to make a seed oil, the processing that takes place, you'd never touch that stuff with a 100-foot pole. Sugar over salt, plant-based diets, and then the last one, let me finish with this, LDL cholesterol. Now, I talked to you already about it, but they guard that. They look at that, and they still do it today in 2024. They look at LDL. LDL became the bad guy. LDL is bad cholesterol. No, it's not. No, it's not. But they say it is. They've never been able to link LDL with heart disease. But they sure can hammer it down. That's what statin drugs do. You know what statin drugs do? They will lower your cholesterol. I lowered my cholesterol. Remember the old commercials of the firemen coming down the fire pole in the fire station, coming down on that pole and then giving everybody in the fire station high fives. I lowered my cholesterol. You want to die young? Lower your LDL. We've had a lot of years to study this, guys. Let's lower LDL cholesterol. It's the least we can do for heart disease. Hasn't even made a dent. hasn't even made a dent. Looking for love in all the wrong places. I'm sorry. I know that's controversial. I know that if we had a vote, I'd get voted out. But I can't help but tell you what the truth is. And you guys have to admit one thing. Anybody that's been following me, some of you out there have been following me for 25 years, radio and whatever. And you'll admit, I've been saying this since the day I was public. I said it in my office for 50 years. Okay. Friday is question and answer Friday, so send your questions in, right? Yeah. info@martinclinic.com. Guys, don't leave your questions up here, okay, on the scroll. You're asking them, and I appreciate that. But would you please send those questions in? If you want me to deal with it, send them in. info@martinclinic.com, okay? We appreciate it, guys. We love you dearly. We'll talk to you soon.